have had a super busy week this week, and it has been very difficult to vlog just because there have been a lot of things going on. I'm not fully back into my routine yet, and this has been exam week, so the students' schedules have been a little bit different. I've been trying to get people where they need to go. We've had surveys the kids had to fill out, and I've had meetings, or like last night I had after school, then I had to go home and make food for the goodie table for our staff meeting because it's our month, and I've just been busy. But this week I have started to review the things that my students missed while I was gone. I'm trying to give retests to my 6th and 7th grades, and I'm starting a new unit with the 8th graders, but I'm doing a co-teaching lesson or two with our superintendent, who used to be a science teacher. It was supposed to be this week, but she had to push it back to next week because we had some conflicts. And so we just decided to move it. And so this week I've just been doing kind of like pre-skills activities to build the concepts of the properties of water before we get into our hydrosphere unit. That way our pacing continues as planned. We're just doing things in a little bit different order. And that allows me to bring in some of the chemistry aspects of things, which the last big unit that I have to teach after hydrosphere is chemistry, like periodic table, things like that, to this group of students before their end of grade test for the state. So I feel like I've gotten a lot of information from the kids this week. I've helped clarify some of their misconceptions. Hopefully I'm going to get a quiz or a test grade in for my 6th and 7th graders before report cards the grades have to be submitted next week at the beginning of the week, and the students will be on a break. We have like a 4-day weekend for students and a 3-day for staff with an optional work day. So yeah, it's just been like very busy, but I'll show you a few highlights of some of the things I've been doing in my classes.
We have my parents' permission. So we need to write down the chart first. Up there.
I would do it the long way.
Do it right here.
Yeah, so if you do it the long way.
How many inches is this right for the cake?
1/2. Right here. That's 3 inches almost exactly.
Okay, so write it down in your chart.
3 inches.
Hello, today is Sunday, January the 15th, 2023, and this is a teacher self-care weekend video. So this has been a crazy week this week. Just to fill you in, we had, well, first of all, we had a full 5-day week. Wah. And in addition to that, we had activities, after school program resuming, we had games every night, which I didn't go to all the games, but it was just a really busy week for teachers and students. So yeah, it's been a tiring week. I'm really, really happy about having some time to regroup this weekend. I have been trying to get my classroom back in order, and it's kind of like with students there, it's difficult because there's so much activity going on. But I will get there eventually. I've been trying to get my house in order, but it's like when I come home after a long day of work, I don't really have a lot of energy or feel like doing that. So everything is kind of like slowed down, but this weekend we get a 4-day weekend. Well, kind of, sort of. So Monday is Martin Luther King Day, so of course it's a holiday, and we don't have to go in, but Tuesday is an optional teacher work day, which I'm going to opt to work so that I can work on some of those things that I was talking about that I need to do. But because of that, it's a very relaxed, like easing back into my week kind of weekend. So today I really enjoyed myself. I did the typical slow waking up on Sunday morning. I like to try to get in bed by at least by midnight, so that gives me an opportunity to stay up, watch a movie with Joe, whatever, and then still get plenty of sleep. And on Sunday mornings, I really sleep in. We don't have to leave for our church service until 10:30, so I usually wake up slowly, just kind of like talk to Joe, watch videos sometimes, or read, and then he brings me coffee. And I love to have like a special coffee with whipped cream on Sunday mornings. I like to have like an egg sandwich or something else. He might make us some food because he's a morning person, so he's always up and moving around the house. And then I just take my time getting ready. I like to do my hair, do extra time on my hair, which during the work week I just like really do quick styles, and occasionally I might curl it, but mostly I just try to get it done as quickly as possible. Or I'll do like a really nice style on a Sunday, and then it will last me over for a couple of days before I start putting it back in ponytails again and things like that. But on Sunday it's nice because I could just really focus on me, and when we get home we either go out to lunch, or like today I made a pot of soup. And so we had a nice warm pot of soup. It is like 42 degrees out, which for North Carolina is super cold. And we've had really fierce biting winds, so it's no joke around here right now. I'm wearing my warmest jacket that I own. I had to send back my puffer jacket to Newly, so kind of sad about that because I would have used it this week. But we ate, and I sat around and snuggled with the dog, and then took a nap. And now I am on my way to go to the grocery. Part of self-care is getting ready for your next week so that you are kind of being a blessing to your future self. And one thing I want to make sure that I do is get my groceries stocked up and everything ready so that it's easy to make meals, and I'm not trying to figure that out like last minute and struggling. So I'm gonna drive to Aldi just because of where we live. We live in such a rural community. It is going to be an hour and a half or maybe a little bit more to get there. So I have a little drive ahead of me, but I'm gonna give myself a treat out there, like maybe get a Starbucks or something, since I'm gonna be in civilization. So yeah, so let's get on the road.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Super dark in this drive-thru.
Thank you for choosing Starbucks. We're going to get started for you.
Yeah, I'll take a grande skinny vanilla latte with coconut milk, please.
Grande skinny latte with oat milk, you said?
Coconut milk.
Coconut milk.
And
I gotcha.
that's okay. And can I make that hot, please?
Of course. Alright, anything else for you?
That's it.
Alright, total 658.
I just spent $7 on a cup of coffee. This is why it's good that there's no Starbucks close to my house, because that is entirely too much money. I don't know how people do that every day. Really, I don't. Hi, good. So I am on I-94 now. I am just past the turn in Columbia, and I have about 25 minutes left to get home. So yeah, this is where it gets like to the point where I just want to be out of the car. That last half hour, it's super dark here. Let me show you. This is my reality, and it is going to get worse the further into town, out of town that we get, because I'm just on the cusp of town, but I'm literally going into the woods, and there's going to be like very few lights from homes and things like that. So yeah, this last half hour is just killer, and I have to watch for deer and things like that as well. Like, there are a pack of red wolves that have been reintroduced into the ecosystem here, and it's like a big thing in the state, and they could be roaming over here. They have a pretty like large roaming area, and this is like one of the areas that they could come out of the woods. In fact, I've seen one of them before over here, so I have to be really careful, because this is the time of night when they might be trying to feed or whatever. They're just coming out, you know, waking up for the evening, and yeah. So it has been a really nice, relaxing day today. Tomorrow I think I'm going to start some sourdough starter and see if I can get it to work. It will be an experiment, but I really want to try to make sourdough bread homemade. So I'm going to start the starter tomorrow. I'm going to put a few more decorations away and straighten up the house a little bit and read my book. I am reading a new book now. It is a mystery, and the hilarious part of it is that I randomly picked this book off of my bookshelf. It is one of the books that was left in the house by my daughters, and so, you know, I've never read it before, and I just wanted to read a mystery, and I was like, oh, here's one that I haven't read, and it looks pretty good. It's a nice thick book, and I was like, this will be a good little read for me over the winter time. I always read more when the weather's bad, just something to do during these months. Anyway, I picked it off the shelf and I started reading it, and I realized that the setting of the story is in Boston, in the Back Bay area, which is where Joe and I stayed. So it's really cool, because when they describe things, I just came back from there. So that was a total coincidence, or as my dad would like to say, a coinky-dink. But yeah, I'm really enjoying reading the story, just because I have that recent memory of having walked through those streets. So it's pretty cool to listen to the author describe the area that I've actually been to. So, and I have an interview coming up this week. It is for the same district that I currently work in, but I would be a literacy specialist, which I'm like really missing the elementary age level, and I'm wanting to get back down to working in that environment. I'm just much more of an elementary teacher than I am a middle school teacher, although I absolutely love sixth graders, and I love that transition from elementary to middle school. I'm really wanting to get back in that like lower grades mindset. This is a position that could potentially be a really good segue into like a principal role later.